Hey guys, welcome to my channel, welcome to my stream, welcome to yet another video, another chapter. I believe it's chapter 10, working on this guy here, or P-40E Warhawk by Hasegawa, 1/48 scale. So please roll that intro and I can get started. Thank you. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel with this guy. We have this guy here. Spent a bunch of time putting the decals on the other day so that I can incorporate the decals into the weathering. As you can see here, on the wing especially, you can see the big blue circle with the white star, and that's been weathered down, scraped off a little bit to appear like it's been weathered, instead of having all this chipped up paint everywhere and then all of a sudden these decals are brand new looking. No. Not going to do that. So I did the same on the sides here, kind of incorporated where the 104 goes, where that big section of the green circle was worn away, so I took out some of the 104. Same with our little blue stripe and our flying tiger. Did a little bit on the mouth too, took a little bit away out of the middle, and similar on this side, maybe not quite as much on this side. And then just a little bit on the star underneath the wing, just a little bit right in there, worn down a little bit but not nearly as much as on the top. And that's basically it, and that's what I did. I did glue my windows on in the back here, got those painted up and glued those on, and so we're ready to continue on with our little bits underneath. Okay, still got some stuff underneath here to do. So flip this over, I'll change the camera back, you can see what I'm doing here. So if we go back, we had our fuel tank. I have that sitting here. That's painted up, and I added some fuel stains on it there. Fuel stains going down, and a little bit of some gook and grime at the bottom of it where it would collect from, you know, wetness and stuff like that. So that's ready to go on. We can put that on now, but I don't want to actually install it because I got to do some grime and stuff underneath there. That's going to be another thing altogether. And again, before I put the wheels on, we're going to continue on in the back, okay? So let's flip the page. We're going to work on some of this stuff here, okay? Now obviously, I trimmed down those tabs on the pieces there so I could get it fit in there and get it lined up with the other three little pieces. These guys here, they didn't really want to line up with the holes until I trimmed this main tab in here. Trim that down so I could get it sit deep enough that they all line up, and then they did, and that was good. So now it's all in there, so my two are lined up, they are straight, and it looks good, right? Okay, ready for wheels, but not just yet. We got to do our landing gear bay doors. A26 and 27 and A2 and 3 going on each sides of these. Let's grab those, okay? Let's grab our A tree. Okay, so we got 2 and 3 right here. Let's move my plane out of the way just for a minute. Two and 3. And then these two here. There we go. Okay. So we're just going to clean up our nubs and make sure that they're nice and smooth and they're going to look nice. I did originally have the inside of these painted green like these, but I realized they're not actually that part of the landing gear. From what I can tell, it's not actually supposed to be green. I could be wrong, and you know, looking at it's kind of hard to tell. You know, realistically, all photos of these planes are black and white, and then it just becomes people's opinions on what the real color should be to to get historical accuracy on them. And yeah, sometimes it's real, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's, you see some restored photos of these things in color, and then they haven't been restored faithfully to the originals and stuff like that, which you don't find out till later. I basically are saying, okay, I don't care. So that's going to go in here like this. I got to try and see. Looks like these are lefts and rights. This tab is not perfectly in the center here. And this obviously is on this side. Just like so. So he's going to go in right there like this. Kind of like that. Okay. Now it does make it a little bit of a challenge with this little pod right there. Because where he wants to go in the hole, he's getting interference from that pod. So let's do a little trimming here. Where did my knife go? You hear me sniffling, it's because I got a bit of a cold. And yeah, it's bugging me. Runny nose. So I'm just going to trim this away a little bit here, so that this pod isn't interfering with it. There, now it can sit more straight up like it's supposed to. That's better. Okay. Sorry guys, the sniffling is going to get to you. So, let's put some glue on this tab. And you can go in your home. Just like that. Just make sure it's flush, flat. They do show you in the picture how they're supposed to be situated in here. Basically, where it meets should be a 90-degree angle. It should be straight, just like the landing gear, like that. Okay, just like that. Okay, that's how it's supposed to sit. So let's turn this around and we will test fit the other side. Similar fashion, the little pod, this one little arm on the landing gear is interfering with it sitting flush. So I'll just trim that little spot away on this. So it can sit flat on there. A little bit more. Let's try that. Much better. A little bit of glue on there. Down you go. Make sure that's straight up and down. Yep, perfect. Okay, so those two are on. So now the debate comes whether I'm going to paint these blue on the inside just like the others. I say blue, but it's actually this gray, and I'm going to do that. I don't want all of a sudden these weird doors being green. So these are supposed to sit like this, And that's going to be weird with that, just suddenly that's green there when I don't have any of this other part green, it's all gray. So I'm going to paint these. So I'm just going to put this aside for now, give these guys a coat of paint, and then while I'm waiting for the paint to dry, we'll move to the rear landing gear. So let's just give these guys a coat of paint here. I'll do 2 coats because I need to cover that green. 1 coat's enough, not enough. Okay. So we'll let those sit for a couple of minutes and then I'll put another coat on them. Let's clean up my brush real quick here. And we'll move to the back. Okay, so on the back we need a couple of pieces here. We need A34. Which is our main piece here, this guy here. Okay, and that's it for the H or U. Everything else is off of our O. I think actually these doors, if I want to keep with continuity, these doors should be the same gray also, with only the inside here green, just for continuity. But I don't think it's really going to matter or make much difference. This guy is going to go in right here, just like so. Okay. And so we can put some glue on this edge or on here, whichever we prefer. Let's see. This might be the easiest. There. And there. The edges too, sure, why not? Fits in nice and flush. Looks good. Okay, that's in there. I think I actually want to use some of my extra thin just on each end, just to ensure a good seal. There we go. Okay, so with that in, I should be able to do another coat on these now. I'll let that sit for a minute. Let the glue cure. Some nice stuff about these paints is they don't take that long to dry. Even brush painting them. There, now that doesn't look so green. Now it matches a little bit better. Okay. That actually is going to bug me. It's going to bug me if I leave these green. I'm going to have to paint these too. It's just one of those things. Just have to paint it. One of those things that it's just, you know, it's just gonna stick in my craw if I leave it alone. Okay, so that means I can now glue these on. Now these are angled. You see it's got an angle. This side's angled here. Okay, that angled part goes towards the back. Okay, which tells me this piece is for this side right here. And they've got a couple little tabs there to help you line them up, and so that's nice. So let's put some glue on this. Right along this edge. And drop him on my leg. Well, leg's better than the floor. Let's put him in his new home. Right there. Okay, so it's supposed to be sticking out a bit of an angle, but not quite. So that's kind of the angle they want you to have it at, like that. See the angle I've got that sitting at? It's not quite 90, it's close. Okay, so that's one. I'll let that cure for a minute before I add any more glue to it. I'll work on this side. Again, put your glue on there. And line it up with those tabs, just like that. Using my finger as a stop for it to get it roughly the same angle sitting out, hanging out that way. So it's actually resting against my finger right now. And just leave my finger there for the glue to do its job for a minute there, and then I should be able to let go and it'll be fine. There we go. All right. So those are done. And with those done, I want to add a little bit more glue to them, but I want to let this glue cure first. Because sometimes when you add glue to it, suddenly it kind of reactivates the glue that's already there, and then it doesn't hold it. I want to put my second coat on these guys. That on a little bit thick on there, but that's okay. There. Oops, that's not paint. Okay. Now with that done, I'm going to grab some parts off of our O tree. Parts off of the O tree. We need O35 and O36. Here's our O tree. I've already painted these silver. They're supposed to be silver. So, let's get these. 35 has some nubs we need to clean up off of it. want to get the propeller assembled today also. So that's on my agenda. This has little nubs on each end that I need to trim off. They are not part of it. There. Okay, so that being said, I want to get the propeller done. I need some black. Do I have any Mr. Surfacer black? I don't think I've got any Mr. Surfacer black left. No, I do not. That's okay. I have Tamiya's matte black, and that will serve as a reasonable facsimile. The actual propeller is supposed to be black, so I'm going to use Tamiya's TS6 matte black. Just quickly spray that so that I'm ready to actually install it. Now we got a black propeller, and where to put the lid? There it is. All right. Okay, so these two guys. First, I'm going to grab the rear wheel. Doink, already painted. He's ready to go be installed. He's been waiting a long time. He's like, yay, finally! This guy's going to go on the peg like this. That is a nice tight fit. So I'm just going to do a little test fit. I'm supposed to put him with, he sticks out so that he's actually facing this side of the plane. He's going to go there like this. Now this is the thing that gets tricky because he's got a flat spot on him. This is not a kit wheel, right? And so to get the angle of that flat spot, this is why I've been waiting to put the main ones on. I want to get my angle of the flat to see how that plane's going to sit like this, and I want to have the wheel facing the direction it should be. It's getting that lined up, that flat spot on the bottom there, lined up as close as I can to how the wheels are actually going to sit. So I could do a little test here. Put this guy on here. There we go. And we can just take a ruler and see how that's going to go. Let's give it a little rotate. A little more. That's pretty close. Maybe just a hair more. That's pretty close. I can rotate this one too, so really get them lined up. This is the trick. This is the one thing I wanted to do, and this is why I've been waiting to actually install the wheels. Okay, I've got the rear one lined up pretty perfect. In fact, I got this one lined up pretty good too. Okay, so that being said, let's get this guy off of there. Now I need some CA glue because this wheel is actually resin. So let's grab my CA glue. And get this to actually come out of here. There we go. Don't need a whole lot. Because it is a tight fit. Going to use a little accelerator on it. Okay. While I'm at it, I might as well do this wheel also. Okay. So, let's get that off of there. With the rear wheel done, even though it's got a bunch of accelerator on it, let's wait for that to evaporate and it'll be fine. There we go. We will put some glue on there and glue him in. There we go. He's in his home. He's in his new home. So now, let's take some more glue, put it on the axle here. This we're going to permanently glue our main wheel on. And hopefully at the angle that it's supposed to be. So don't have a lot of time to play around with this one now. Again, it's CA glue, and that stuff sets up right quick. So I want that angle like this. It's about perfect. That's about perfect. It's about all I'm going to get on that. And it's ironic that now that I put glue on it, the wheel moves around a lot. Let's just do a double check here. Actually, I'm a little bit fortunate with the glue that I'm using being what it is. It's a little thick, and so my wheel, I'm actually able to play with the wheel a little bit while I'm lining it up. I'm just going to take a little more glue. Just add a little bit there. There we go. Okay, we'll let that set and we'll work on the other side. The other side won't be as hard to do because I can just match it up with this wheel. Let's get that on there. All the way, turn, and we'll just kind of eyeball it, line it up kind of like that. And that should be pretty good. Yep. So our wheels are lined up. This one's a tighter fit. This one was still a little bit loose, but it's solid now. It ain't going nowhere. And that one's good. I'm just going to give this a little squeeze with my pliers here just to make sure it's all the way. If I can. Yeah. Okay. She's good. Our wheels are done. And we can set her down. Doink! Yay! Alright, that's it for our CA glue. We don't need that anymore. Guess we can move on to the kit parts. Let's get my ruler put away. The other thing we needed to do on the back here was the 035. That needs to go on. And it's going to go right in that hole there. Like this. Let's put that away. Grab my tweezers. And it's going to go right in here. just like that. There we go. Now I think that's it for the bottom of the plane. Nothing else. We got our doors on now. We've got the all three pieces there done. The wheels are in. That's it for the bottom of the plane, guys. So, again, I'm not going to do the fuel tank right now because I got weathering to do underneath there. The canopy is basically done. I've got my canopy done here. That's finished, right? This is ready to go on. I'm not going to glue this on because I don't do that. And of course the front is already done because we've painted this thing, which means I get to finally do my prop, okay? So, let's do this. I've already taken the nose off the sprues right there, and I got it painted and a little bit of silver and scratches on it there to do that. And I've got the back piece. This is 023, this is 024. We need to get a poly cap out of the box, and fortunately we have 4 of them. So let's grab a poly cap. I'll just put him here for now. And then we got to grab our prop that I just recently painted flat black. So we'll see how much these little nubs where it's attached, if they're going to be visible. Probably not. So I might not even have to worry about cleaning those up. So we're going to take our poly cap, and it's supposed to go inside here, like that. And then we line these up. This. Get them centered. Just like that. And then this goes over top. Get it all lined up. There we go. It goes together quite nicely. That's quite a nice little design they did. It's good. So I'll just use some thin, extra thin, I'll go around the edge. Go around the perimeter here. Just like that. And there's our prop assembled. It's actually quite easy. It's too bad other companies don't do it just like that, because that's a really nice way to do it. Looks good. Yeah. And obviously I got a couple of decals to put on the blades, and I'm gonna have to, yeah, just decals, yellow decals I guess go on the tips, and then we got number 31 and 29 decals on the blades themselves. And we got a few little bits here, clear bits to go on. We got the, is that a pitot tube? I don't know what that is on the tips of the older planes. We've got more clear parts to go on the sides. These little holes here and here. And yeah, so let's grab those. V7, eh? Okay, V7. V7, these two here. These are the kind of little detail bits I have a tendency to forget about a lot of time when I'm building my kits. I get to the point where I want to do the weathering and stuff like that, and I do it and I forget all about the little detail, the last few detail parts I tend to forget about quite a bit. And of course, when the thing's sitting on the shelf, I never know. I never notice them. I go back and I start throwing the parts away. Okay, I know that hit the page, I just don't know where. That's another thing that happens to me. That was a nice fit. Let's see if I can get that in there, get that glued in. Okay, that's glued in. Okay, right there. It's hard to see because it's clear. It's just a little piece of clear plastic. But that other clear piece, I dropped on the page. I heard it hit the page, but I think it went away on me. Yeah, it slid away and it has disappeared. So yeah, that's one of those little detail bits that I don't get to use because it slid off my page and I have no clue where it went. No idea where it went. So I got one on one side and I'm not going to have the other on the other. Not that it's really going to matter very much, but I'll see if I can find where it went. And thank you, Lord, it is right here. Right there. Okay, so I get to install it after all. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we got those put on. Of course, we have this now going on here. There we go. And of course, it spins because of the poly cap. Just like that. So, we have two here, 011 and 09. 09 obviously is our little targeting die. Where's O here? There's 8, 6, 9 right here. Our little targeting pod. This is supposed to be painted steel. And then 011 is a little stick sticking up. Now they show here a spot that you could do it. There is no hole for 011. There is a hole for 09 right there. Okay, there's a little hole for it, but not for 011. Okay, I believe there was a comment something. Right here. Make a hole with a diameter of 0.5 millimeter. Or if you don't want to drill the hole, cut the little tab off the bottom of 011 and just glue it on. But it's up to you, right? And they show you put it right here, or right here actually. So I can try that. I do have drill bits that are that small, so I can give that a shot. But let's do number 9 first. Let's put number 9 on there. This is just one of those little detail parts that it's a neat little thing to have to show it. There we go. Of course, I think they do make like photo etch versions of these things, which are more accurate to scale. But at the end of the day, just the fact that you have it there is a neat little thing. I'm just going to try and make it so it's straight. course, the more I move it around, the more the glue's not going to hold. But I got it pretty good, I think. Let's show you upside down. Like that. Obviously need to paint that, but yeah. So move that out of the way. There you go. You can see it there. Okay. Now our pilot's got a sight. Now for 011, we need to do a little tiny drill bit, a little hole. So first I'll do a little pilot hole with my knife. I'm actually going to take this off, take my prop off. Because the blades are going to be in my way from doing things. So it's supposed to be right here. Okay, so I'll just kind of do a little bit of a pilot hole. Now I've got something for my drill bit to bite into. And I'll grab my little tiny ones. I got a little set I got on Amazon. Super tiny little bits. So I'm going to just compare the size to 011. Where did 11 go here? I want to match these up as best as I can to that, the size that this is going to be. I think our brown is a good candidate. Brown one seems to be like it'll be good. You can put these in a drill if you want. But you can also just do it by hand if you think the drill is going to be a little too heavy-handed. Actually, I'm going to use my new guy. I'm going to use this. Whoops. I'm going to use this guy here. I have this guy here. It's a little USB-powered Dremel. Handy router. I will plug him in. And there we go. And we go. Nice. It goes really slow. There's not too much power, but a lot less work than having to do it by hand. There we go. Just like that. Wasn't that nice and quick? Now let's test fit 011 here. Well, I'd say that's a pretty perfect fit. A little bit of glue and make sure he's straight up and down. I believe he's supposed to be a guide, like the front sight on a gun. There we go. He's on there. There he is right there. Right there. This guy's leaning back a little bit, and he shouldn't be. That's okay. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit more glue on him. Speaking of more glue, remember I said I wanted to put more glue on these without reactivating the original glue. I just wanted to make sure those are in good. Okay. There we go. We have this piece here, J18, is supposed to go in this hole off of our J tree. Where is J? Is that one of these? Is this, are you guys the J's? What are you guys? No, you're the Q's. J must be this one. Are you J? What are you? What are you? Yeah, you're J. J18, 17, 18. This guy here. All right. With J18, we're pretty much done. With the installation of this part, our build will be done. I'm just going to slide it in like that. I'm not sure how deep it's supposed to go. That's as far as it'll go, so that's, if that, I'm just going to put it in like that and leave it. It wants to go that far and not anymore, so I'm going to leave it that far. And call that done. Just like that. Okay, that is it, guys. That's basically it. There's really not much, there's nothing else to assemble except to just glue on the fuel tank. That's it. Nothing more to do on this plane as far as assembly goes. Yes, I got to do the weathering on it. I'm going to do some grime and stuff like that. And some grease. I do need to do that to it. That is necessary to do. But beyond that, nothing else to assemble. That completes the assembly of our P-40E Warhawk by Hasegawa. I'll give you a little preview of what the canopy, how it sits on there. They give you two canopies based on what you're going to do. If you're going to have it closed, you're going to use this one, and obviously I've painted that one, and that's why that's on there. But if you're going to have the canopy displayed open like this, they give you a different one that sits more down onto the fuselage like that. See, it sits lower. It's actually wider. So if I tried that with this one sits too high. See how it doesn't sit as low there on the sides? Because technically these should, when they open the canopies on these things, they slide straight back like this on a channel, right? And so that's why this one is nice and wide, because it can sit in the channel. But they see they didn't even do this one correctly, because this line here is straight down and it needs to be chamfered on an angle like this one is. See, it's got that angle there on the front edge. This one doesn't have that. See, it's just square, totally square, and that's not correct, right? So yeah, this one you have to do if you're going to do closed, which I do because I don't like getting a bunch of dust inside my canopies, and that's so I like to display them with the canopy closed. And then when you want to look in there and you can see, you go doink, and you can see all the nice detail inside. Yeah, and that's that. Which is another thing that tells me I must have pumped this. Oh, I guess I forgot. I got exhaust to put on there. I got the exhaust to put on. Let's do the exhaust before I go. We got to do the exhaust, guys. I got to install that. Which means we got to flip back in the book. Step 8, installing the exhaust. Let's go back here. Before I go, we got to do the exhaust. Okay? So the first two on this side are the D ones. And like I said before, I have them over here. I have them painted already, and I got them stuck to a piece of tape. So here's one of the D's. Let's do a little test fit here. I think these are basically just going to be, put some glue on them and glue them in. But I do have, I'm going to have to deal with nubs right here. I need a flat surface on there. Sorry, I just did that off camera. Right in this little section here, I was going to clean up a nub there. Whether I got to do that on all of them or not, I don't know. We'll see. A little glue. And then in his little home. Feels pretty secure in there. Feels like a pretty tight fit. Okay, so there's one. And then I need another D. So I'm just going to make sure this is flat. This is flat. There we go. Okay. Glue. There we go. So there's two. Next we need a C. C is the third one down. So let's grab a C. Yeah, looking at them now, that, you know, when I first pulled them off the sprues, I was thinking, okay, they kind of look all the same. But they actually aren't all the same. There's a slight difference in their shape. And I guess that's because of how they're located there. Let's turn this around like this. This one is a bit of a peep. There we go. There we go. Okay. Just like that. Next is another D. Okay. Again, just making sure this is a nice flat surface we're going to be gluing to. There we go. They all are kind of angled downward just a hair. At least that's how they started out. So I want to make sure they look proper. They're all the same. This one doesn't feel like it's really in very well. But there we go. Next, another C and then a D. We're going C, D, C, D. There's another C. That one actually is pretty good. Okay, and then another D. Yeah, really. Our last D. It went in almost perfect when I first dropped it in. There we go. Okay, so we're in. Now, I would have preferred to have this all lined up a little better, but that's how it goes. That's one side. I'm not going to bore you guys with the other side. There's definitely a lot more finagling I could do with that, but yeah. So there's one side of the exhaust, and I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side and get that all done and buttoned up. And then I got weathering to do. So maybe this isn't the final episode. Maybe the next episode will just be a quick one doing the bit of the weathering and then a clear coat. But this is where I am going to end this one for today, guys. So I want to thank you for watching, and I thank you for coming out, and thank you for the subscribers and all that kind of stuff. I know a lot of you who watch don't subscribe. You know what, that's okay, but still, you know, it'd be nice if you did subscribe, right? It'd be nice. Anyway, thanks again, guys, for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.